Yeah, turn the music high. That's yours truly, Luca Brassy 3000, baby. So, again, if you're just tuning in with us, I have tonight my man Sean Ennis, talent management on from Boston, now living in the ATL. And as I just stated, that record right there, 3000, was the record that I recorded in the ATL with Young Lord. So, just we got a little, me and Mr. Ennis here, we got a little something going on already, you know what I'm saying? Because, he's from the ATL. I performed and done stuff in the ATL, so we got that little thing going on, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so if you're just tuning in with us, I gave a little bit of background on Mr. Ennis here. He is a talent scout and artist management, and, basically he just kind of goes out, he finds talented artists that, he thinks have a future, and he helps them get developed, you know what I'm saying? So I have experience with management like that, so again, something else we have in common. If you want to get a hold of Sean, it's going to be www.ennistalentmanagement.com. That's Ennis, ENNISTALENT management.com. EnnisTalentManagement.com. You can find him also on Facebook.com/EnnisTalentManagement. You can also find him, through his email, EnnisProductions@gmail.com. Again, that's Ennis, ENNIS Productions@gmail.com. Also on Instagram.com/EnnisProductions. Okay, again, that's Instagram.com/EnnisProductions. So in a minute here, we're going to cut to a quick commercial, and then I'm going to be bringing on my man Sean Ennis. We'll be right back.
Everyone's nervous on a first date, but with my situation, it's even scarier. I want to be open and honest, but some things are almost impossible to talk about. Then I discovered StartToDate.com.
With StartToDate.com, I found a partner that I can tell anything to and not be afraid or feel like I'm hiding things. I never dreamed I could be this happy.
Stop worrying and start dating with StartToDate.com, where relationships begin with honesty and trust. Download the app at StartToDate.com.
Yeah, that's StartToDate.com, StartToDate.com. Again, if y'all don't remember me talking about this, that's my website, my brand new dating app, Start to Date. It's available on Android, it's available on iPhone, iOS. You go right into the App Store and the Google Play Store, and you can buy the app right there. Or like the commercial just said, you can download it right off of the website. But anyway, tonight we ain't talking about me, okay? We're talking about Mr. Ennis. So let me open up his microphone right now. Make sure he's here. Sean, are you with us, my friend?
Yes, sir, I am.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. First of all, let me say thank you so much for having me on your platform. I know since about a week and a half to 2 weeks since we first spoke and scheduled this interview, it's given me time to really go look at your website, lucabrassy.com. Check out Brazy Radio, as well as your podcast, and I really think it's tremendous what you've accomplished, so I really want to say thank you so much for allowing me on your platform.
Oh, thank you, man. No, our pleasure. And, yeah, just like I was, and for all of you who don't know, we have been messing up each other's names a little bit, because anybody who knows me personally knows one of my best friends' name is Sean Ellis, which is Ellis, and this is Sean Ennis, Ennis. And my name is actually pronounced Brassy. so we both have to kind of go back and forth with the name thing. But anyway, man, we really
We'll get it eventually.
Yeah, no, I think I got it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I think now I got it, because now I'm looking right at my computer where I can see your name. It's obvious. It's ENN. But anyway, man, listen, we really appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know you're a busy guy. You take the time out, to be on the platform. Give us this little interview that we're gonna do here for the next few minutes. And, people don't realize, man, like the guests that I have sometimes don't even realize like how crucial and important they really are to the show. Because one of the things that I really, really like pride myself on is being able to have a constant flow of new people coming onto the show and giving interviews, man. And like I've had a couple managers on here, but like we really like you're unique in your own way simply because we don't have a lot of management people on here. We have a lot of like actors. I've had people that are into fitness and things like that. We've had a lot of musicians. We've had a lot of music producers. We've had a lot of movie directors and film people and things like that, and some models and stuff. But we don't have a lot of like serious entrepreneurs. So, having you on here is really, really special. So, to start this off with my first question, one of the things I definitely want to ask you is, I know that you have been involved in a lot of different things, but what made you actually want to be involved in the entertainment industry in the first place?
So the first thing that drew me to the entertainment industry was really just, in high school making beats for my friends who were musicians, and that's really what drew me into the entertainment industry. And from there, we started filming and editing snowboarding and skateboarding videos, and putting the beats and music to that. And that really just led me on a path of really falling in love with the creative process. And as I went on and found that I could get paid from being creative and working with musicians, from things like being an engineer at a recording studio, or doing photography for musicians when they have their performances, or photography at a nightclub. It just really inspired me to say, hey, I really love this environment. I love working with passionate musicians. How can I do more of this? How can I utilize the talents I have to really help these artists progress in their careers?
Right. Yeah, and that's really, really amazing, man, because, so many artists, they, and I come from this background, man, they have no guidance. They have no idea, like, really what direction to go in. When I made the decision to start doing music, I didn't know a lot about it either. I knew nothing about hip-hop, so, I'll never forget the process, man. I decided I wanted to start writing a little bit. I had just gotten out of professional wrestling, and, that ended on a really, really sour note, so I was very, very bitter. I was angry. I was about 18 years old, and one day I just said, you know what, I'm going to just go out, and I just decided to go out and buy some hip-hop records, and I bought a few records, went home, started listening to them, and I could really relate to a lot of things that they were saying, and I had no direction. I had no management, obviously, because I didn't even have any kind of music career or nothing going on, so I just went out, I just started writing and everything, and then my cousin, I knew he was involved, so I asked him for some industry beats and some jack beats, which he gave me, and then I ended up meeting my music producer and everything. That was back in 2004, but I didn't actually really start getting involved with my first manager until around 2011, I want to say, 2010, 2011. So I went about 6 or 7 years before I even had my first manager. You know what I mean? So the fact that we got somebody like you out there, you know what I'm saying, like, looking for that talent, is really, really special, man. So, from one artist to a manager, you know what I'm saying, even though you're not managing me, I want to say thank you for the people that you do manage, because I know that so many artists don't have a lot of direction. So thank you.
Absolutely. And really, that's the goal, because what I do is I'm a brand and marketing consultant / artist manager. And what I do is I try to help artists get their music heard and seen by influencers, provide a social media marketing plan and marketing material that's focused on the artist's brand and music, and I try to help them connect, engage with their audience, and grow their brand.
Right. And I think that is one of the things that a lot of artists struggle with, is finding their niche, finding their brand, and then developing that brand. Like, I have pretty much done everything on my own, you know what I mean? Like, I have worked with some managers in the past. I had a couple decent experiences and a couple really bad experiences. I've never been involved with a manager who actually did a really, really superior, like, job. I always ended up doing a lot of the work, and that's why I just finally was like, you know what? I was just like, I'm just going to do this myself. But then you got people like you know what I'm saying, who actually do engage and who actually do go out there and do care about the actual artist. And one of the biggest mistakes, bro, let me just tell you, and you probably know this, but one of the biggest mistakes that I noticed that artists make, independent artists, is they get someone to manage them who is also an artist, which is a big mistake. So anybody listening right now who has another artist managing their career, don't do that, okay? And the reason why is because a manager who is also an artist will always put themselves ahead of whoever they're managing. Okay, so they really need to have somebody, from what it sounds like yourself, who is not really an active artist, but just interested in managing and getting other artists to the next level. Would you agree with that?
100%. 100%. There's too much, when two people are trying to get to a peak and it's the same peak, that's really going to be too much competition. So for myself, I'm not an artist. What I do, I see myself as partnering with creatives and me being the business and executive, and so I'm able to have that blend and communicate and educate artists on the music side of the business, which a lot of artists who are creatives, understandably, you tend to be drawn to what you're good at. So if you're good at playing an instrument, good at performing, good at recording music, that tends to be your strength. And then when it comes to other side, promoting, reaching out to different platforms to try to get your content posted, networking with other artists, networking with producers, reaching out to venues to perform, negotiating compensation for performances. A lot of artists are uncomfortable in that space, and that's where I try to bridge that gap between the artist and the rest of the industry and really try to make it easier for them.
Right. And that's great, man, because like you're saying, brother, so many artists don't know the ins and outs, you know what I mean? And that's very, very important. And the reason why I'm giving the advice that I'm giving is because I made the mistake. Everything that I'm telling people not to do, believe me, I have done it, okay? I have made the mistakes. I had an artist. My first manager was also an artist, and he was a hardcore artist. And he was trying to manage people in hip-hop and rock and every genre, you know what I'm saying, just to try to make money to invest back into what he was doing. So it's kind of like he always had himself ahead of the people he was managing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said to the artists out there, you need someone who's not an artist. But one of the things that I personally really wanted to ask you and know about was this national tour that you did for this DJ, okay? Who was the DJ, and like what was the tour like?
Sure, absolutely. I worked for DJ Mastodon. He's a DJ out of Vermont. And the tour was amazing. It was my first experience going on the road. We started in Vermont. We went to New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and New Jersey. And it was just a great experience because at that time, that he was the first person that I managed, and it was really I also look at him as a mentor, so it was really me being an assistant as well as just documenting the journey with photos and videos. And so it was just a tremendous experience, an eye-opening experience, and I just learned so much from that experience. And I think it really translated now to where, you know, I don't necessarily go on the road with artists now because I work with artists all across the U.S., but it really helped me in terms of the booking process, which I do on a daily basis now, reaching out to venues and pitching artists to venues. So I think that really played a great part in where I am now.
That's awesome, man. You said it was DJ Mastodon, was it?
DJ Mastodon.
Mastodon. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Interesting, man. That's really cool. So, you know, tell us a little bit more too about your management company. Like, what is there more than just management aspects to it, or like what exactly is the company like?
Sure. Absolutely. So, I primarily work with up and coming and unsigned artists. In the last 5.5 to 6 years that I've been doing this full time, I've been really blessed to work with artists from the entire scale and range of artists. So, you know, I work with artists that, you know, are just starting out, just getting into a professional studio for the first time, just setting up all their different social media, just getting their website done, just getting their music onto the streaming platforms. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I've also done booking for, you know, cover bands with 20-plus years performance experience who demand a compensation of $1,000+ per night. So it's given me a great range of working with different artists in different genres at different places in their careers to really be able to offer a lot of different services to help artists from the experience I've gotten from working with such a wide variety of artists.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And now you, before you got into the management gig, you did have experience as an artist. Is that right?
As an artist, I would say not really. Really, I just made beats for my friends,
Okay.
and most of my interaction with artists have been really as a photographer, videographer,
Okay.
recording engineer, and now what I'm doing now.
Okay. So you've never recorded or anything like that? I thought that maybe that's how you started, but you never got on stage or recorded or nothing?
I think I went on stage once as a hype man, but in terms
Okay.
of making my own music, no, I never. I got terrible stage fright, so I don't think ever me being a performing artist was ever in the cards.
I got you. I understand. Yeah, I'll tell you, man. That's a special thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I got comfortable in front of the camera early because, like I said during the intro of the show, I was involved in professional wrestling for a long time. Like the first time I ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring, I was 13 years old, and then I got into music when I was about 18. But I really look back at pro wrestling, that period of my life, like as getting me prepared and getting me comfortable in front of an audience, getting me comfortable in front of a camera, having a presence, like having that presence on stage, having that presence in front of a camera, and it helped me so much, man, like get over like the whole not wanting to get on stage thing. But I never really had a problem like just getting up and performing in front of people, But I agree with you, man, is that some people literally cannot do it. Like they have the stage fright, like you said, and they just can't get up there, man. But it's good that you know that and you were still able to apply your skills into something else, you know what I mean? And like you, we have a lot in common, you know what I'm saying? I went to school for criminal justice too. And, I'm not really doing a whole lot. It helped me out, obviously, but I'm not really doing a whole lot with it, you know what I'm saying? And you're managing artists, and I am an artist, so it's like we kind of went down a similar path after we got the criminal justice degree, which is kind of funny. But
let me say
so
where the criminal justice experience that I had going to college and the information I learned, where it translated really well was when it comes to reading and understanding the legal language in recording contracts. I found that I was able to understand and disseminate the information in there. And at this point, I've written independent recording contracts. I've written merchandising agreements. I've written, nearly 6 different type of contracts, as well as it allows me to, again, back to educating artists, educate artists on what exactly it means to get signed to a major label, what an advance is, a loan that you have to pay back, what's royalties, what's publishing, the different terms and clauses that are included in a major label recording contract. And like you mentioned before, too many artists that are pursuing music seriously and want to make money from the music industry are just oblivious to the business aspect of the music business. And I've seen so many ways where that's truly dangerous, because the music industry, usually you have a young artist who becomes popular and starts generating a revenue which at that young age is substantial to them. Then you have a major corporation come in and offer them even more money, and in return take everything that young person has worked for, because they don't understand what they're giving up and what that trade is when you deal with a major label.
Right, and that was one of the things that I was told actually early on, before I even had a manager. They said to me, they're like, Luca, they're like, no matter what you do, don't give away your publishing. They were like, that is
Absolutely.
one of the key ingredients. They said giving away a small percentage is one thing. They're like, but some of these labels will come in and try to take like all your publishing rights. They were like, never ever give away your publishing. They're like, that's one thing that you have to hold close. And so like that goes to what you're saying. You know, so many young artists don't understand things like that. They don't know. I've talked to the artists that don't even know what a royalty is. They're just like, what does that mean? And I'm just like, really? And to me, that's like that's like so common of a term in the industry that like, come on, it's like you got to know what royalties are, you know. But so many people don't. Some people don't know what publishing rights are, you know. So that's good that, you know, there's people like you that are really watching people's backs, you know. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about quick before we go off air here is the United States, or not the United States, the Canada and United Kingdom. Now, what have you done in those parts? Like, I know you've done a lot in the U.S., but what Canada and the U.K., like, what have you done there?
Sure, absolutely. So I've worked with artists from Canada and the UK in terms of helping them with their branding and helping them reach their audience on social media, coming up with creative content that they can post on their social media, their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter.
Okay. You still there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure. I thought I lost you for a second. Okay. All right, now, where's your preference? Do you like working inside the United States, or do you prefer to, like, go, like, to other countries and stuff?
Honestly, the thing I love most about working in the entertainment industry is that every artist that I work with is so passionate about chasing and reaching their dream. So I really just love working with hardworking artists who are willing to learn and willing to take and implement the information that I have to give.
Right. Yeah. You know, that's very well said too, man, because you have no idea. Well, you probably do have an idea. I shouldn't say that because I'm sure you probably experienced this, but there has been so many people that I've talked to that aren't willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? That they think they know. You try to explain something to them, and they're pretending like they already know more than you. You know what I'm saying? And you're sitting there, and you know they don't. You know what I mean? But they're just being hard-headed, you know, and which is one of the most frustrating things because there's been people that I've tried to work with, not managing, but like I would try to collaborate with or work with in some way, you know, whether it would be just a collaboration or doing a whole album together or a music video or whatever. And they're talking to me like I'm trying to explain to them like exactly how something is supposed to go or look or feel or whatever the case may be. And they're sitting there talking like they know everything. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm like, listen, I'm like, if you're not willing to learn and you're just going to keep on cutting me off and like not listening to anything I'm saying, I'm like, I can't work with people like that. So it's good that, you know, you're having the experience of working with people who really, really are willing to learn, are passionate about it, man. So definitely, you know, keep up that.
Thank you.
No doubt, man. All right, now, before we go off, is there any last things that you want to say, you know, any kind of advice maybe that you want to give to up-and-coming artists or people who are looking to get into management?
Sure. Let me start with advice to up-and-coming artists. There's a few things I want to say. First things first. When you release your music, you need to sign up with a performance rights organization. Here in the United States, you're going to be signing up with either BMI or ASCAP. CSAC is another one, but that's invitation only. My next piece of advice is, as a musician, you really should start looking at yourself as a creative entrepreneur, and you should be documenting everything you do with photos and videos. So your writing and song creating process, when you're in the studio, your live performances, you should be documenting everything to put that content onto social media.
All right, yeah, very good. Very important, too. So, all right, go ahead, man. How about some advice for maybe some managers out there?
For managers, I would say, you know, kind of what I do each day, you know, the first thing that I do is I have several websites about the music industry business that I go to every day to just try to stay abreast of the constant changes that happen in the music industry. So I think for anyone else in this industry who wants to be on the management executive side, it's really important that you stay up to date on what's going on in this industry because things move at such a fast pace.
All right, very good, man. And why don't you shout out your contact information one more time for the people listening?
Sure, absolutely. Any creative, not just musicians, but any creatives, any producers, any models, any clothing brands that are looking for help branding and marketing and selling their content, you can contact me. You can go to the website, ennistalentmanagement.com. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/ennistalentmanagement, or you can contact me by my email, which is ennisproductions@gmail.com.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Listen, thank you very much, my friend, for being on the show with us tonight, brother. We really, really appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
No doubt, brother. And listen, keep in touch, all right? Don't be a stranger, man. I like your style. I like your philosophies, and I like your theories, man. And I absolutely love what you're doing for the up-and-coming artists in the industry, man. So thank you very much.